A new John Deere subcompact tractor package with a loader and a mower deck runs close to $24,000, and most buyers walk off that lot believing the whole machine was built by American hands in an American plant. Here is what nobody at the dealership tells you. On the smaller end of that lineup, mechanics and longtime owners who service these tractors for a living describe something more specific. Deere has been quietly shrinking its own workforce, cutting more than 2,000 jobs at plants in Iowa and Illinois in 2024 alone, while at the same time, some of its smallest tractors arrive as knockdown kits built overseas that only get final assembly in Georgia before earning a built-in USA badge. Same tractor, different birthplace than the sticker suggests. This video names 3 tractor brands that are genuinely manufactured here in America, and most landowners have heard of maybe one of them. The third one is the entire reason this video exists. John Deere deserves real credit before anything else, because the full story matters more than the headline. Founded in 1837 in Illinois, it is one of the great American manufacturing stories, and that reputation is not fake. The Augusta factory in Grovetown, Georgia, has been running since 1990. Has produced more than 1 million tractors, and genuinely builds the one family through 4 family compact utility tractors along with the 5 family utility line. Buy a mid-size compact utility tractor out of that plant and you are getting a machine assembled in Georgia by Georgia workers. That much checks out completely. Where the story changes is at the cheapest end of the lineup, the small subcompact tractors that most first-time landowners actually buy because they are the affordable way into the John Deere name. Owners and mechanics who work on these machines regularly describe something different happening there. Yanmar has built compact tractors for John Deere in Japan for years, and some of those units now arrive in the United States as complete knockdown kits, essentially a tractor shipped in a crate, then get put together at a Georgia facility just enough to earn that built-in USA label. The engine, the transmission, the core engineering, all of it finished overseas before it ever touches Georgia soil. Layer on top of that the fact that Deere also produces tractors in Mexico and India, depending on the model, and its Mannheim plant in Germany builds entire mid-size series for the world market, and the bigger picture gets clearer. In 2024, Deere cut more than 2,000 jobs at its Iowa and Illinois plants, and separately announced it was moving skid steer and track loader production to a new facility in Mexico. The name on the hood tells you almost nothing about where the machine actually came from, and nobody explains that distinction while you are standing on the lot signing paperwork. If this is the kind of detail nobody tells you at the dealership, subscribe, because breaking down which equipment brands are worth your money is what this channel does every week. The first real name on this list is one you already trust, and it earns that trust honestly. Kubota built its reputation on the BX series subcompact tractor, backed by more than 1,100 dealers across the country, which means parts, service, and financing are never far from wherever you live. That accessibility is exactly why so many first-time buyers gravitate toward the orange machines. What most buyers never hear is that Kubota Manufacturing of America in Gainesville, Georgia, together with its sister plant-building loaders and backhoes, employs more than 3,000 people, and that facility runs over 50 welding robots and 80 automated guided vehicles. That is not a warehouse bolting together shipped-in parts. That is actual welding and actual fabrication happening on American soil for the BX line. To be fair, Kubota has expanded its parts, sourcing well beyond North America, into Mexico, India, and parts of Europe and Asia, so not every bolt on every Kubota comes from Georgia. So the honest verdict is this. Buy a Kubota BX subcompact and you are buying a machine with genuine Georgia manufacturing behind it, not just Georgia assembly. It is the name everyone already trusts, and for once, the trust actually holds up. Trusted is not the same as surprising, and the next name on this list is one almost nobody watching has ever heard of, which is exactly why it matters. Power Trac operates out of North Tazewell, Virginia, and has been building tractors since 1984. The people who started the company were already building heavy-duty articulated mining equipment back in 1977, and they only built their first Power Trac because they needed a small loader tractor for their own facility, and nothing on the market fit the job. That is not a marketing origin story. That is an engineering problem that turned into a business. In 1998, Power Trac made a move most manufacturers never make. They dropped their dealer network entirely and started selling factory direct. So when you buy one, you are buying straight from the people who built it. And customers save at least 30% compared to dealer pricing because there is no middleman markup between you and the machine. Every Power Trac tractor is still built at that same original Virginia facility today, from the articulated frame through the hydraulics, with more than 40 attachments available for a single machine, everything from a backhoe to a slope mower, all built to run off one base rather than forcing separate machines for separate jobs. To stay fair, Power Trac is a small manufacturer, not a giant one, so its lineup and dealer footprint are far narrower than a company like Kubota's. But the frame, the articulation system, and the final build are genuinely done in that Virginia shop. If Kubota proves a trusted brand can still be honest, Power Trac proves the brand nobody has heard of might be the smartest tractor purchase on this entire list, especially for anyone who wants one machine that replaces several pieces of equipment sitting unused in the barn. The third brand closes out this list, and its manufacturing story validates itself in the most unusual way possible. Ventrac, built in Orrville, Ohio, has spent decades earning a reputation among landscapers, groundskeepers, and serious acreage owners for handling steep hillsides and soft, wet turf better than almost anything else on the market. The company was built by the Steiner family, who spent generations developing agricultural equipment before Ventrac became its own respected name. Every tractor and attachment they sell is engineered and manufactured inside that same Ohio facility, with a level of vertical integration that keeps a large share of the machine built in-house rather than assembled from purchased outside parts. Here is the twist that makes the story convincing. In 2020, the Toro Company, a far larger equipment manufacturer, decided the smartest move available was to acquire Ventrac outright, rather than try to compete with it. Toro's own leadership said publicly they wanted to help the Ventrac team keep growing on the foundation already built in Orrville. That is not outsourcing. That is a bigger company admitting a smaller one had already figured out how to build it right. To stay fair, ownership matters, and Ventrac is no longer an independently owned family company the way Power Trac still is. But the same Ohio team is still building the same machines in the same building. And being acquired specifically for your manufacturing quality is one of the strongest endorsements a tractor brand can receive. So here is where all three actually land for you as a buyer. Georgia gives you Kubota, the trusted name that genuinely earns its trust on the subcompact line. Virginia gives you Power Trac, the factory direct hidden gem. most acreage owners will never even see on a dealer lot. Ohio gives you Ventrac, built with real vertical integration, respected enough that a much larger company bought its way into that reputation. What this really proves is that an American brand name and an American-built machine are not the same promise, and the only way to know the difference is to ask where your money is going before you sign anything. Kubota for the buyer who wants an easy, trusted choice backed by a real dealer network. Power Trac for the buyer who wants factory direct pricing and does not mind skipping the dealer lot entirely. Ventrac for the buyer who cares more about depth of build than a low sticker price. Next time you feel that pull toward the familiar green paint or the shiny orange hood, remember that the smartest buyers in this space are not chasing the loudest name. They are chasing the machine that was actually built the way the sticker claims. If this saved you from getting fooled on your next purchase, subscribe for more of these breakdowns and tell us in the comments which of these three would actually earn a spot in your barn.